And hey guys, what's up? I hope you're all doing great. Welcome to my channel where we talk about anything related to comic books. In today's video, I am doing an overview of Spider-Man: The Lost Hand, which is a relatively new trade paperback that was released in June 28 this year. It retails for $17.99 and it has 120 pages. So, with no further ado, let's start. So, the first thing we see here is, of course, this beautiful cover drawn by Ryan Brown. Here on the top is, of course, the title, Spider-Man: The Lost Hunt, not to be confused with Kraven's Last Hunt. So this is Lost, the other one is Last, it's different. But yes, this is a reference to The Last Hunt. Here in the bottom we can see the creative team. It's written by J.M. DeMatteis, and actually the art is drawn by quite a lot of people, including Eder Messias, Brennan Peoples, Kyle Hodge, and others. Oh, and this cover right here is the cover of Spider-Man: The Lost Hunt #1. Here on the spine, we don't actually see much, it's just a title with a small image of Spider-Man wearing the symbiote in the bottom. So, in the back cover, we can see this beautiful image, which is actually the cover of Spider-Man: The Lost Hunt #2. Again, by Ryan Brown. So, this collects Spider-Man: The Lost Hunt 1 through 5. So this is a 5-issue limited series, and we will talk about the story later in the video. Let's take a look at the description. The perfect reminder of why Spidey has continued to endure as a character. J.M. DeMatteis returns to uncover the origins of Kraven the Hunter. Okay, let me clarify something. If you want to read a Kraven the Hunter story, this isn't the book for you. It honestly isn't, because it's not so much about Kraven as it is about Gregor and his mother and all this stuff. So it doesn't reveal that much about Kraven's past. So I don't really recommend it as a Kraven story, but I will give you a more detailed review later. Now we're just talking about how it looks. So here we have an ad for Kraven's Last Hunt, and here we have an ad for Ben Reilly Spider-Man. So this is a page from The Lost Hunt #1. The creative team, which we saw earlier, and then the story starts. So let's head to the back. It doesn't have much here. We only get some variant covers. So that's it. Now that we have talked about how it looks and all this stuff, let's just talk about the stories. So let me give you a few details about when this story is set chronologically. If you have watched my Ben Reilly Spider-Man video, then you know that at some point Ben Reilly became the Spider-Man of New York, while Peter Parker with Mary Jane moved to Portland to live the rest of their lives there peacefully without supervillains and all this stuff. Peter even lost his powers, so even if he wanted to, he couldn't be Spider-Man anymore. And Ben took his place. So these two, The Lost Hunt and Ben Reilly Spider-Man, are set during the same period. So as the writer said, these are like two sides of the same clone coin. In one side we have Ben Reilly, in the other side we have The Lost Hunt. So, after Spider-Man: The Last Adventure, as I said, Peter doesn't have powers. Yet, he still chooses to do crazy stuff like jumping from rooftops and almost getting himself killed. See, and he even has hallucinations of past villains. And he thinks he's getting crazy. But what actually causes the hallucinations is Gregor. Gregor is a close friend of Kraven, I wouldn't say son because he isn't really his son, but Kraven basically raised him. So, Gregor is furious with Kraven's death, and he thinks that Spider-Man is responsible. He knows that Kraven committed suicide, but he thinks that Spider-Man was the one that made him kill himself. So, here we see that even in the school where he teaches, Peter still has hallucinations and he even has run away. He doesn't know the source of the hallucinations, of course, and when he finds out, he fights Gregor, but almost gets himself killed because Gregor is way stronger than him. But then Gregor's mother arrives to the scene to help Peter. I'm not gonna say more because I don't want to spoil anything for you, in case you want to read the story yourself. I'm just going to say that at the end of the story, Peter wears the spider armor again. It's even in the cover, so I don't really consider it a spoiler. So, what do I think about this one? Let me just tell you that everything here is brilliantly written. Like, it's awesome to see how Peter struggles to live without Spider-Man. He does crazy stuff that have to do with his past life, and it's great to see a story without Peter crawling to walls and all this stuff and just relying on him being a human. And Gregor is an actually interesting villain whom we haven't seen much of, and his motives do make sense, even though he is wrong about wanting to kill Spider-Man. The only thing I don't like about this is that we don't really see much of Kraven, and he's even in the cover of the trade paperback, and here they say that we will get a look at Kraven's origins, so you'd expect that we would get more Kraven, but no. Only in one issue we get just something like a flashback to Gregor's life with Kraven, but it's not much of a big deal. We could live without it. So, as a Kraven story, this wouldn't be ideal, but as a Spider-Man story, this is amazing. Like, the art is great, it really fits the whole tone of the story, which is supposed to be more dark. And J.M. DeMatteis definitely still has it. It's a brilliantly written story with brilliantly written characters. Everything about it is awesome. You can't get bored while reading this. Okay, maybe in one issue 4, I think it was kinda boring in the beginning, but it still had some details that we needed to know. So I don't blame them. So do I recommend this? Absolute shockingly. Shock is like the F word of the future. And yes, I'm going to use it more now. But it depends on what you expect from this. If you were expecting a Kraven story, then it gets 3 out of 5 at best. If you're expecting just a Spider-Man story, then it gets a 4 out of 5. So it depends on what you expect from the story. If you're a Kraven fan, you may not like it as much. If you just want to see Peter, then you will like it more. So it depends on what kind of fan you are. Well guys, this was today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please make sure to like, subscribe, and allow all notifications. Tell me what other videos you'd like to see in the future, and until the next time, goodbye, true believers.